Welcome to the Hope Natural Health Podcast. I'm Dr. Erin Ellis, your host. On this show, we discuss all things health, hormones, and happiness with a little side of this thing called life. Amy Donofrio is the co-founder of Fri Period, a company dedicated to better periods. Their supremely comfortable period underwear is made in the U.S. without using PFAS or other harmful chemicals. Amy is a former zoologist with a background in conservation education and loves that she plays a role in offering more sustainable solutions for managing our periods. I can't tell you how excited I am for this conversation with the co-founder of Panties, of Fri Period, the home of Period Panties, because I learned about them through Instagram and I'm super excited to offer a discount link and become an affiliate for Fri Period. So I had to have them on the podcast. So welcome to the show, Amy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Erin. And first and foremost, we want to thank you for all of your amazing support. You've been so supportive of Fri Period, and we are so thankful for that. So I'm super excited to be here today.
Yes, the power of social media, and just you never know what can come out of a simple DM or a conversation or a hashtag or whatever. And if anyone knows me by now, they know that I love speaking about menstrual health and periods, and I love what Fri Period does. It's women-owned, made in the U.S., organic, non-toxic, everything that I stand by. But first, I need to know more about how this all came to fruition, more about your background, and really how you came up with Fri Period and what you're doing today.
Absolutely. Yes. So Fri Period actually was born in Japan. The founder of, which is awesome, the founder is my very, very good friend, Nina Smith. And her and I met when we were living in Japan. Our husbands worked on a project that brought us over there. And we also have daughters that are the same age. They're like 6 months apart. And so we bonded very quickly. And it truly is her baby. Her baby is Fri Period. And she had talked about creating this company while we were in Japan. And I had actually, until I met Nina, I had never worn period underwear before. I'd heard about them, but I had never worn them, which I'll get to that in a moment. But so moving forward, the project that our husbands were working on brought us to Houston, Texas. And so we all moved over to Texas. And that was really when things started to move and motion started to action, because we wanted the company to be US based. And Adina was able to find a factory here in Houston, which was awesome. As you mentioned, women owned. And we just launched in September of 2003. So we were brand new. We just started this first year. Or we're in our first year, which has been
2023.
2023.
Oh, okay. You said 2003.
Yeah. Oh,
I was
my
like,
gosh.
Wait, that was a long time ago. 2023. Yeah. So not even a year yet.
Maybe I'm still living in 2003. I'm not sure. But yes, we started just in September of 2023. So we just launched this past year. So like I said, we're in our first year. And we're super excited just to have the company off the ground and starting to get, brand, people to recognize the brand and to, to talk about it and to normalize periods. I mean, that's really what we're all about, is to have these conversations and to talk about those things that, many people for many years and still today don't talk about. So
yeah. So how did Nina come up with this, and what was her, how did it come? Why did she want to do this?
We both wanted to, well, one thing, I know she had been wearing period underwear before I had. So she introduced me to the concept of period underwear. I'd heard of them, but like I said, I was kind of, I think my holdup with period underwear was a little bit of the mobility of it. Like when you're out and about, what do I do with, underwear once I've used it? And so, but she was super, she was always telling me, like, you have to try them, you have to wear them, you have to try them. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to wear them. And honestly, since I've started wearing them, it's like, you can't go back once you start wearing them. And the motivation too was she had tried other period underwear companies and she wasn't quite happy with those products that she was wearing. And so she was like, I can do this. I want to start my own. I want it to be better. I want it to be great. And here we are. trying to, put a product out there that we really truly feel great about sharing with everybody.
So what was it about the other or the ones that she was wearing that she didn't like, and how are yours different? I'm probably jumping ahead, but
Yeah,
I don't want to forget
some of those
that
things that you
comment.
mentioned. We wanted to make sure we had like supply chain transparency, where our fabrics come from. We wanted to create a product that was organic cotton, which we did. And we also wanted to create a product that was chemical free, which
Yeah.
is really important to us. So
Super important. Okay,
absolutely.
so there's so many period products, and I know you're just like me. I was super skeptical when it came to period underwear, probably for the same reasons as you were. And I know that we're not alone in that, and I know a lot of listeners are. And every time I post about the period underwear, I do get DMs like, well, how bulky are they? Like, are they comfortable? How does it work?
Absolutely.
You just put it in your laundry. So why,
Yes.
let's start with
Yes.
like why someone would want to choose period underwear over a tampon or a pad or a cup.
Absolutely. Yes. So period underwear are designed to be like regular underwear and be comfortable. They're designed not to be bulky. You don't want to feel like you're wearing a diaper or a big, hefty big pad. They're designed, and I can show you.
Yeah.
They're designed to have this nice thin. Can see how thin that is right there, and to be super comfortable. So for me, that was the one thing when I did try period underwear for the first time. I was blown away how much more comfortable they are than wearing pads and tampons. I've never been a tampon person myself. I know some people love them. They were just not something that I enjoyed wearing personally. And when I made the switch over to period underwear, I was really surprised with how long I was able to wear them, as well as the comfort level in wearing them. Now saying that, everybody has to think about their own flow and their own body. And I always tell people when they ask, well, how long can I wear them? Are they leak
Yeah.
proof? Well,
Yeah.
like nothing is a miracle product. I mean, everything has its
Right.
limitation, and you have to, try them out for yourselves and see, depending on your flow and your days, what works best for you and how to wear them. And so that's one reason. It's definitely, I just feel that they're more comfortable than wearing pads and tampons for sure.
Yes. I totally
I
agree.
I come from a conservation education background. So my undergraduate is biology, my master's is zoology, and I worked at a zoo for 14 years. And while doing that, our mission was to help create conservation leaders. We were always trying to find achievable ways for people to make conservation actions that they can do in their home to help wildlife and nature and the planet. And I really feel that period underwear checks that, like, immensely. So that's something that's personal to me as well, and that
Right.
I feel like I really am reducing that single-use plastic that's going into our
Yeah.
landfills. Yeah,
Yeah.
which
So one thing that I ask all my patients, because I love helping women with their periods and more about education around it, because there's so many women that think that they have a normal flow. And when we talk about it, it's really abnormal. So one
yeah,
thing that I've noticed with the period panties and kind of what you just touched on is how we can't technically measure flow from the underwear because it's just absorbent, self-absorbent. Whereas if you wear a tampon or a pad or a cup, okay, I have to change my tampon every 1 to 2 hours because it's saturated, or my pad,
yeah,
or I empty my cup 2 or 3 times a day.
yeah.
But you have a medium or a heavy flow period panty and a medium flow. Can you talk a little bit about that and how someone actually, or can we measure our flow from the period underwear?
Yeah. So as you mentioned, we have two flows. We have a light medium absorbency, and then we have a medium heavy absorbency. And when you actually feel and touch the underwear, you can actually feel the difference between those two absorbencies. You can tell one feels lighter and one feels heavier. And so the one unique thing about our period underwear is, you see we have this printed gusset. Now, I love the printed gusset in that it does help eliminate stainage. And when you wear the period underwear, you can still see the blood in there. Like when I wear it and I look down, I can see that, oh, it looks saturated. Like the pattern almost looks completely, the color has turned mostly red. So you can see it when you look at it. You can also feel it, like, just, you can, after time, after you've worn it for so long, just like wearing a pad too, you kind of, like, okay, it's time to change. It's time to take off and do a change. So I do agree that for me personally, they're much more comfortable when I'm wearing pads. And depending on your flow, you will kind of know as you're wearing them. You have to wear them. It's part of the experience of
Yeah.
wearing them to know,
Yeah.
okay, it's time to change, or no, I feel great. Like on my light days, I can wear it morning to night, no problem. Like
Yeah.
feels comfortable from the moment I put them on to the moment I take them off at the end of the day. On my heavy days, I've noticed I'm very lucky. I typically only have about one heavy day in my period, and on that heavy day though, I do need to change it probably 3 times.
Okay.
So that's kind of how and again, that's just my experience by wearing them.
Is
Make sense?
there, yeah, is there
Yeah.
a capacity?
Oh, for sure. I
Like
mean,
a, no, I mean,
like,
like, is there a measurable capacity? Like, say you have to
oh,
change it 3 times. I know you probably
yeah.
change it sooner, but is there a measurable capacity? I'm just trying to say, like, as period underwear grows, like, how, from a practitioner standpoint, am I going to be like, wait, that's way too heavy?
I don't
Just
know.
question. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
Like,
sure.
does
Like
it
with our,
hold, a specific milliliter amount of menstrual blood?
so we say it will hold approximately 2 to 3 pads or tampons worth of liquid.
Perfect. Love it.
Yes.
That's exactly
Yes.
what I needed to know.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
Yes.
let's dive into a little bit, like, how does it work? So that's one of the
Yeah.
questions that I get is, wait, you mean that you wear it and you can literally just put it in the washer? And then I've also gotten questions like, can I wash it with my other clothes?
Right.
Which,
Yes. Yes.
yes, you can. So can you explain a little bit about how it works? Because it
Yes.
seems magic to me, but I
Right.
know that there's like science behind it.
So as I mentioned, it's designed to look and feel like regular underwear. So I just kind of turned it inside out here so you can see the
Yep.
interior. Let me bring it to the front. So you've got the front and then you got the back. So it comes up a little bit higher in the back for that extra protection. And the what is called the gusset, which is the interior part of the underwear, has 3 layers. It has a top moisture wicking layer, which is the pattern layer. And it has an interior layer, which is the absorbent layer, which holds and absorbs all of the liquid. And then we have an exterior, and on our black ones, it's a great organic leak-proof exterior. So it's those 3 layers that actually hold in all of that liquid. So many people will ask, and like you said, I've been doing a variety of live events throughout this past year, and I get that question over and over again. How does it
Yeah.
work? Like,
Yeah.
do I need to wear a pad with it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to wear a pad with it. I
Mm-mm.
mean, if you wanted to, you could for even amazing more extra protection, but know that the actual underwear is absorbent, which is so
Mm-hmm.
super cool. So then after you wear it, what we recommend is once you take it off is I will rinse it in cold water under the sink. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll just, rinse it, do a little bit of a gentle wring, and then I try to rinse it out till the water is mostly clear. Once it's mostly clear, I toss it in the laundry with
Mm-hmm.
my regular load. I try to remember to wash it on low, like cold water, and then we
Mm-hmm.
recommend hanging it out to dry. They are organic cotton, so we recommend hanging it out. If I wash it in the evening and I hang it out overnight, they're ready to wear in the morning.
Okay. Why do you not want to dry organic cotton?
It could potentially have a little bit of shrinkage since it is
Okay.
organic cotton. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I have accidentally completely dried mine, and I haven't had a problem.
Yeah,
But
I
we
have.
recommend, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we recommend line drying. Yeah, we recommend line drying. Yeah,
Okay.
or hanging them up.
Awesome. So with that, let's talk a little bit about the organic component, the without the harmful chemicals, the PFAS. Can you speak a little bit to that and why that is important to not have in a period product?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know for me myself, I don't want to put, we're unfortunately exposed to chemicals throughout our life every day and all of the things we do. And I know that me and Nina, we wanted to just try to minimize them as much as possible in a really, special area that
Yeah.
we want to keep, that we want to protect and keep. I don't want to put chemicals in my mouth. I don't want to put chemicals in my underpants,
Right.
so It's absolutely something that's super important. We really are proud of the fact that, all of our fabrics are sourced in the US. We know exactly where the fabrics are coming from. In fact, the company, I was amazed. This is a new industry to me. I came from conservation education and the world. And so I've been learning, so much. And we were having a conversation with our fabric suppliers, and I was just amazed at the incredible knowledge that these people have about fabric and where the fabric comes from. And they can actually tell you the field that the organic cotton was grown on, if we wanted to know, like where it was sourced from. And I think just again, that transparency of where the materials are coming from and what we're putting on our body and what we're using is really important.
Do you have any insight or research on these chemicals and how they can impact our hormones or our periods?
I don't personally know.
Okay.
I just know that, I don't know if that is something that you know more about. But no, I've heard surface level. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, most of these, just from a general standpoint, most of them are endocrine disruptors, and our endocrine system is our entire hormone system, from our thyroid to our adrenals to our reproductive hormones. So even if you're wearing, say, a pad that is not organic and does not have or is not chemical free, those chemicals can still absorb through our skin. So think of it that way. And that's why it's so important to have, everything that we wear or put on our body, not necessarily consuming, that it is chemical free, because it can still absorb through our skin. So that's one of the things that I love about Fri Period, is that they don't use any harmful chemicals. I have a random question. Since you're a zoologist, are you going to come out with a line for dogs in heat?
Oh, that's a phenomenal.
Have you ever thought of that?
That is a
I was just thinking,
idea.
like with animals, I'm like, they wear the little undies when they're in heat for the ones that aren't fixed.
Yes, I have.
All right, I gave you a new business idea.
Right? I have a 6-month-old puppy, and she hasn't had her first heat yet. So
maybe you can just cut out a little hole in the back for the tail, and there you go.
Check.
Yeah.
I love it.
Awesome. So since you're in the menstrual space, why is there still such a taboo that exists around our menstrual cycles, and what can we do to end this?
I think it's what we're doing right here today is what we need to do. It's conversations. It's having conversations. It is normalizing that, 1.8 billion people menstruate a month. And at any given point in time, there's 800 million people menstruating. And this is something that is a shared experience that we have. And it shouldn't be hidden. It shouldn't be something that you're ashamed of. It is something we should talk about. And, as they say, knowledge is power, and conversations are power. And sharing this information is just super important, super, super important. So
why do you think we are ashamed about speaking about it? Because we just haven't?
That is the $1 million question,
right?
Like, why are people still ashamed of talking about it? I remember from my own, personal experience, when I think about when I first got my period, back in junior high, which, oh my gosh, junior high, that's like totally dating myself. It's middle school now.
It's okay. Yeah, right?
Junior high, and being so nervous about going to school and having my period, or what if I had a leak and it stained my clothing, and or what if, God forbid, what if one of the boys knew I had my period, and so I think really that is, I can't believe in 2024 that that there is still this taboo, there is still this stigma, there is still this, have to hide it, and really we need to just keep having these conversations and keep talking about it, and keep being the voice for those that need it, and keep getting the word out, and just keep having the conversation. And I have an 8-year-old daughter. And I'm excited and nervous, about all of it at the same time.
Yeah.
Having those conversations with her, but I really hope to be, I think about in my past experience too, I don't ever remember my mom having a conversation with me about my
Yeah.
period. Maybe she did. I mean, but I just don't remember it. And I remember learning a lot about my period from my friends. I remember
Yep.
learning about my period from my high school boyfriend's mom, who happened to be a nurse at a gynecologist office. I remember learning things from her. And I just really hope that I can be that for someone as well, for
Yeah.
my daughter, for her friends, or for,
Good.
to be that person to have that conversation with, and that I'm always available to have that conversation with someone. I mean,
Yeah, so true.
I'm a too much information person. I mean, I share information with people that, that other people
Yeah.
probably wouldn't share.
Right.
But I just
No,
think
I
it's
love
super
that.
important,
Yeah, so
to have those
important.
conversations.
And I
Yeah.
think a lot can relate because my mom said something about how, oh yeah, you're going to start bleeding and here's a pad and put that in. And that was pretty much all I knew about my period.
And that's scary. That's
Yeah.
scary. Like, I can't, like, I don't, like, when you think of, oh my gosh, I'm having blood coming out from, from your private parts, that's scary.
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't even imagine. Yeah.
And just
You know,
the fact that it's been normalized and so many women think that their period is normal because it's normal for them and it's really atrocious. It should not be that bad. So that's why
Right.
I continue to speak from the rooftops and share as much
Yeah.
information I can about what is a normal period and when it's abnormal. And then, a lot of women do know that their period's not normal, but they've been dismissed and they don't have any answers or they've been told there's nothing they can do about it, which is so unfair because we can help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's amazing. And that's important is you want to feel, heard, and you want to feel listened
Yep.
to. And that's huge.
Yep. Can you
Yeah.
share a couple case review or not case reviews? I guess like just reviews from people that have been skeptical like you and me about the period underwear and have used them. Can you share a few of your favorite, feedback, I guess, from some happy customers?
Let me see if I've got some readily available here.
Sorry, I threw you on the spot with that question.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I was just trying to see. I just pulled up our website. We have some. Yeah. Okay. So we've got a few. We've got some really great reviews. People are saying perfect for heavy nights. They bought them
Yep.
specifically to wear at night, which
Yeah.
is awesome. Super absorbent. They bought them because for their heavy flow days. Super comfortable. This person said, this is amazing. This product is awesome. That they have been, of course, it cuts out and it's scrolling. People saying they wish they discovered them sooner. And that was the one thing I was amazed that, like I said, I've been doing some live events and going places, and that how many women haven't used them yet. And they're like, I've heard of them, but haven't used them. And so it's also been super interesting to watch people being at a live event and watching people as they walk by and they see what our product is, and it kind of like clicks in their mind what it is, and the expressions that people have on their face, it's amazing. Everything from surprise to shock to giggles to, it's I wish I just had a camera set up watching people walk by our booth just to see, and that kind of goes back to that whole, taboo thing and not talking about it. It's like,
Right.
people are like, oh, well, they're selling period underwear, here. And it goes back to that, like, yes, we're here and we're selling period underwear.
Right.
So,
get your pair. I have 3 pairs now. I have 3 because I was like, I tried one and I loved it. And I'm like, well, I need another one because your period lasts more than a day, right? So I have 2, I think, medium heavy ones and then one of the light medium just for. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
I love them. I use like liners maybe, but I barely use anything else now because I have the period underwear. So I will share my link for a discount at the bottom of the show notes here so people can order them direct from the podcast episode. But you guys are active on social media at Fri Period. I talk about them a lot and share their content, but they post a lot of valuable information about periods too. So make sure you give them a follow. We'll have them linked at the bottom. But we'll wrap it up here, Amy, with one last question I ask all my podcast guests. What would be your best or favorite health tip that you can share with the audience?
Yes, my favorite health tip is actually, because I don't start my day with coffee because I'm caffeine free. I like to start my day with 2 cups of warm water. And that to me, I was told actually by a doctor. I had some acupuncture done a while back due to another condition that I had. And he had recommended that. And he said that it helps flush your system, helps wake up your metabolism. And so that's how I start my day, with those 2 cups of warm water.
I love that. That's a really good advice. And it's a great way to get some hydration in early in the day, right?
Exactly. Start the day.
We're all dehydrated. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And I am so excited for you, Nina, Fri Period, to see you all grow and flourish and really get these period underwear into every woman's drawer. So again, we'll share all of your information at the end of at the show notes here, and my discount code for you to get your own set of period underwear. But Amy, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you for all of your support. We really appreciate it.
Of course, anytime.